Well, I think, Imana, more than ever, Nigerians must begin to appreciate the legislature, I mean, at this moment, because I listened to what the former commissioner said. Democracy is beginning to, in my own thinking, I think democracy is really beginning to function in this country. One, what we call infighting is, to me, I think it's very good for our democracy. In recent past, we used to have, not holding forth for anybody, but we used to have a National Assembly we might liken as not being independent, you know, and we had in formal times, previous times we've heard about Ghana must goes coming into the floor and all of that being shared and the presidency trying to buy their way through. But for once, Nigerians are beginning to see vibrancy. Nigerians are beginning to see that friction, and that friction is really good for us. If we could hold, I mean, if every other arm of government could hold each other to accountability, that's what I would call, not ransom. You know, if today we could function independently, that's one thing I must give the 8th Assembly. Whatever thing you've seen going on, nobody from the presidency will come in to tell you they are lobbying the National Assembly over any other thing. Whatever decision you see the National Assembly taking today is a decision reached by every other member that represents all the various constituencies in this country. You know, so I think, one, we must appreciate the fact that this is healthy for our democracy. What we saw with the judges is also one of those sanitization that is going on. Yes, we've always talked about corruption and all of that in our system. And I mean, when you talk about the judges, there shouldn't be sacred cows. The anti-graft agencies have gone after the executives. They've also gone after the legislators. So I do not see anything wrong with, no one is above the law, be you the Chief Justice or whomever, or whatever title you go with. Most importantly is, once you're found to be corrupt in any way, you should be brought to book, and that is what we're experiencing now. I think, for once, the Nigerian public should appreciate what is going on. This is democracy working. That's the way I see it. Okay, because,
just a moment.
We know the posture of Mr. President.
Okay, Mr. Kolubo, I'd like to take you up on that one. Infighting, albeit healthy, should it extend to the point where one arm of government is seen as trying to frustrate the effort of another arm of government? How does that work?
Well, yes, you could say infighting is healthy, but there's some kind of infighting that becomes very unhealthy for the system. And that's because we're not, I'll still bring it back to us having a deep understanding of the things we need to do to grow a democratic system. In this country, we understand lobbying to be about Ghana must go. Lobbying is an integral part of the democracy we have borrowed. We don't even have people who have even emerged as lobbyists in our system at all, because lobbying is associated with the negative. But lobbyists are people who move between the legislature and the executive, lobbying for the points, for the issues, making you understand that this is the importance. There are people who are involved with pharmaceutical institutions. There are people who are involved with all kinds of organizations, civil society, who carry these matters on behalf of the people and lobby the representatives. A healthy kind of lobbying that makes a democracy grow. Again, there will practically, when I look at what is happening in the House of Assembly today, it's unfortunate, and it's important for the members of the two arms of the parliament to sit down and introspect and begin to ask themselves, if, for instance, as a boss, you get to a point where you call your house helps to order and they just laugh at you and walk past you, then you must begin to ask yourself that, what am I doing wrong? Okay.
Senator Mama, we will need to take a moment. Quickly, Nigerians, or a good number of Nigerians, seem to have lost faith, not just in the legislature, in governance, because it's like, oh, promises are made, promises are not kept, or not kept as at times when they are expectant, how can government change the viewpoint of Nigerians? How can the arms of government make Nigerians see that, oh, this is work in progress? What avenues should be explored at this time?
Well, I think it's important for the generality of Nigerians as well to appreciate what roles are assigned, at least constitutionally, to the various arms of government. You will see, legislators engaging in so many things that are not their roles because of the expectation.
Usurping powers.
They're not usurping powers. They're not usurping powers, but they are forcing themselves to do certain things because of the poor understanding of what the role of
what their own roles are.
Yes. Take, for example, okay, you have a constituent or your constituents seeing you as a representative and expecting you to come and, construct rules for them. That's not your function. Your role as a legislator is to bring to fore before the parliament that, okay, you have a bad road in your constituency that requires urgent attention. All
right, just a moment, Senator Mamaro. So we'll take another break. When we come back, we'll also look at what avenues, we'll look into more avenues that the arms of government can explore to regain the confidence of Nigerians. We'll also examine the local government administration in Nigeria and the clamor and need for financial autonomy. Please stay with us.